Everyone knows Circe as the witch who turned men into pigs. What Christopher Nolan's movie leaves out is that Odysseus stayed on her island for a full year. He was never her prisoner. He could have left at any time. And when he finally did leave, it was because his own soldiers came to him and told him it was time to go home. They reached the island of Aeaea with one ship left out of 12. They pull the ship onto the sand and lie on the beach for 2 days and 2 nights and do nothing at all. On the 3rd day, Odysseus takes his spear and climbs inland. From high ground, he sees smoke rising out of thick woodland. On the way back, he kills an enormous stag. It is so heavy he has to carry it across his shoulders and lean on his spear to walk. They eat for a day. They weep for the men they lost. And then he tells them about the smoke. They do not take it well. The last time they followed smoke into a strange country, 11 ships were destroyed in a single afternoon. So he splits them into 2 groups, one led by himself, one led by a soldier named Eurylochus. They draw lots to decide who goes inland, and Eurylochus loses. 22 men walk into the forest. They find a house standing alone in a clearing, built from smooth-cut stone, and around it, mountain wolves and lions. The animals do not attack. They come up on their hind legs and push against the men and wag their tails, the way a dog greets its owner at the door. There is no natural reason for a lion to behave like that. From inside the house, they can hear a woman singing while she works at a loom. They call out to her. She opens the doors and invites them in, and every one of them goes inside, except Eurylochus. He stays out in the trees and watches. She sits them down and mixes them a meal: cheese, barley, honey, strong wine, and into it a drug. They eat. She strikes them with a wand and drives them out into the pig pens. They have the heads of pigs now, the voices, the bristles. But their minds do not change. They are not turned into animals. They are trapped inside them. They understand exactly what has happened. They are shut in a pen, being fed acorns off the ground, and every one of them is still a man in there. Eurylochus runs back to the ship and cannot get the words out. When he finally does, Odysseus takes his sword and his bow and walks back into the forest alone. Halfway there, a young man steps onto the path in front of him, barely more than a boy. It is the god Hermes. He tells Odysseus that whatever he is planning will not work. Then he pulls a plant out of the ground, black at the root, white at the flower. The gods call it moly, and Hermes says no mortal man could have found it. Then he gives him instructions. Eat this. When she strikes you with the wand, draw your sword and rush at her as if you mean to kill her. She will back away. Then she will invite you to her bed. Do not refuse her. She is the only one who can free your men. But before you go anywhere with her, make her swear an oath on the names of the gods that she will not harm you. Otherwise, she will strip your strength away the moment you put down your sword. It happens exactly the way he says. Every part of it. She mixes the cup. He drinks it. She strikes him with the wand, and nothing happens. Circe steps back from him. You must be Odysseus, she says. Hermes told me you would come. She has been expecting him for years. She swears the oath. Then she walks out to the pig pens herself and rubs a second drug on each of them. The bristles fall away. They stand up as men again, and Odysseus sees that they look younger than before, and taller and stronger than they had been. They recognize him, and all of them start weeping at once, and the whole house fills with the sound of it. Even Circe is moved by it. Then the rest of the men are brought up from the ship, and they are washed and given clean clothes and fed, and then they stay. Not a night, not a week, a full year. Meat and sweet wine in the house of a goddess who has sworn not to hurt them. 12 months while his wife holds off a house full of suitors on the other side of the sea. And when the year is over, it is not Odysseus who decides to leave. His men come to him, the same men he pulled out of the pig pen. And one of them says, "It is time to think about your own country now." His own soldiers have to remind him he has a home. He agrees the same day. He waits until nightfall and asks Circe to keep her promise. She does not try to stop him. The first thing she says is that she will not hold anyone in her house against his will. But she tells him he cannot sail home yet. First, he has to go down to the land of the dead and speak to the ghost of a prophet named Tiresias. She tells him how to get there, what to sacrifice, where to dig, and how to keep the other ghosts away with his sword until the one he needs comes forward. She sends him to the underworld, and she waits on the island until he comes back. When he does, she sits him down and tells him the entire route home. That his men must block their ears with wax to get past the Sirens, and that if he wants to hear the song himself, he must be tied to the mast, and the ropes must be pulled tighter when he begs to be let go. That between Scylla and Charybdis he must steer close to the cliff and accept losing 6 men, because the other route kills everyone. And that when they reach the island of the sun, they must not touch the cattle grazing there. If they do, his ship and every man on board is finished. Every warning that keeps Odysseus alive after this island comes from Circe. She is not the danger standing between him and home. She is the reason he survives it. One more thing, and this part is not in the Odyssey. It comes from a different poem written much later by someone else. In that version, the year on Aeaea gives Odysseus a son. His name is Telegonus. He grows up, goes looking for the father he has never met, and lands on Ithaca without realizing where he is. In the fight that follows, he kills Odysseus with a spear tipped with the spine of a stingray. A prophet had told Odysseus that death would come to him out of the sea. Everyone assumed that meant drowning,